Welcome to Bunnies TV, mate.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. So you're obviously here to watch your nephew, Drew, and I was talking to him at training yesterday, and his mum is your little sister.
That's right, yeah. So he played pretty good last week, and I think he's had a good day today. He's suffering from a bit of gastro, so...
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah.
So
what's his... How has he came through, mate? Is he a South junior?
Yeah, he was. He played in Lapa juniors when he was much younger, and then the last couple of years, I'm not sure exactly where he was, but he went to Newington College.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so he came through that system as well, and then he spent a year over in Manly, and now he's back.
Yeah, okay. So, and what have you been up to, mate? You're a former Rabbitoh, and you've played a lot of first grade. So what have you been doing since then?
So I did the refereeing for a while after I retired.
Yep.
Didn't really suit me that well. I did a bit of the video refereeing, which I enjoyed, and then after that I became worked in orthopaedics, so hip and knee replacements, and I'm sort of a rep for the surgeon during the operation.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing that for about 15 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And are you still involved with footy at all, or?
No, but I'd like to be again. Yeah, I've actually felt like I've started to fall back in love with it. I think doing the referees, I fell out of love with rugby league. It's I couldn't watch a game without hearing move, dominant, or all these terms that we'd learnt in refereeing, and it wasn't as enjoyable to me.
Yeah. Ah, well, so have you tell us what you've been doing? Are you married? You got kids yourself?
Yeah, so I was married when I was really young. I had my first when I was 21, so my kids are much older. I've got a 27-year-old.
So have I.
Yeah, and he's getting married in October. So then I've got 26, 22. I do have a little fella as well, and to another relationship, and he's 4. He lives over in New Zealand Bow. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. So, and you've been playing a bit of golf out at Eastlake Golf Club with a mate of mine, Paul Mellor.
Oh, great fella. Yeah. Well, I've played with him a few rounds, and I'm addicted to golf, playing 2-3 times a week. Such a great game.
Yeah, so you're a member out there, are you?
Yeah.
I've played out there quite a few times, and I'm a member at the Coast.
Yeah, I follow Mavo's golf blog.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There's a little plug for the channel as the wind blows here. Yeah, so tell us about, how old were you when you made your debut for South?
I was 16 years old, so I think
Wow.
I still hold that record, and it can't be beaten, which is great because
you're not allowed to.
No, you're not allowed to beat it. So now that's awesome. It's a really nice thing.
Yeah, so good. So I think it was at 1992.
One.
Oh, 1991.
Oh, wait a minute. No, 91. That's 91. Right, correct.
Oh, yeah. There you go. So I think I was and then you were still at South in 92 when I was there, but I broke my leg in the first game, so we didn't really get to know each other or play much footy together, but that's unfortunate. But Brownie said he was on the field when you... Yeah,
I used to defend with Tugger and Brownie, so that was our edge. So we had Brownie, Tugger, myself, and then the winger. So, yeah.
Unreal.
Two really hard heads. Grew up pretty quickly, because if you did something wrong, they told you pretty quickly that you weren't doing it right.
I know all about that. So okay, so and then I think you ended up at the Sharks for a while there too.
I left here and went to South, and then from South to the Roosters.
Okay,
but that didn't work out. I was only there half a year, and then I went from there to Canterbury, and Canterbury to Cronulla. And it wasn't really until I got back to Cronulla that probably had the form that I'd had previously here at South. So that was a bit of a waste of time, me going into the Roosters and Canterbury. Yeah, didn't really... Yeah, I had 2 young children at the time, both 2 under 1 years old. They was only 11 months apart. I probably wasn't playing well myself, actually. So, it took a while.
Did you have a chance to watch the trial last night? What do you think of the Bunnies in 2023?
I did. I didn't see it, actually. I was out, so I missed the game. But I just was speaking to my sister who watched it and said that Manly got up, did they? But it's only a trial. We blooded a few young guys. She was talking about a guy called Tallis Duncan, is that right?
Correct, yeah.
He apparently played really well. He's named after Gordon Tallis, is that right?
He is, and he met him live on telly, and he's a good player. We watch him a fair bit. We get to a bit of pathway, so he's one to watch,
for sure.
So are you South supporter? Do you still follow the club? And
yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was divorced, I moved back to the east, and South is definitely the club that I support. I mean, they were very generous in making me a life member when I retired, and so my loyalty is definitely to South rather than Cronulla. I mean, Cronulla's a good club, but I don't live in the area either, and so I follow South, and they're my junior club as well. So
so and I've noticed it as well. We all notice it. The club has moved from where they were before. We're always sort of the battlers, and now they're a real powerhouse. We've got players like Latrell Mitchell and Russell Crowe, and so it's quite satisfying to see the club from where it was to where it is now.
Yeah, I was just having a chat to Keith McGraw before, and I was asking him how the new structure was working with junior teams. Were they still under the juniors, and were they still funding them? And he said no, the seniors are doing it. Tell me how successfully run they are, and they're one of like the top 3 clubs in terms of turning over revenue and profit. So they've done so well. Yeah, it's really good to say. I mean, when we were younger, they just had no money, and the juniors we were wanting the juniors to take over, weren't we? So that we could get some money.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a complete 180.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll let you go. Thanks for coming up. We'll get back to it because they'll be back on the field in a minute. But so hopefully, young Drew, he's got a future at the club. You know, where do you see him maybe ending up? In the future?
I definitely think he's a centre, and I think potentially he's a great defender. So I think he has the potential if he wanted to, and he filled out. He could end up being in the back row as well. So I think either of those positions would suit him well.
Do you talk footy much to him? Do you give him much of a hand? And if you need, does he ring Uncle to have a chat?
No, he is quiet. He's probably similar to I was when I was younger, and I haven't tried to say too much, but I just don't want to overstep the mark, you know. Yeah. So he's getting some good advice. I know I spoke to Sutto about him. Sutto really rates him, and I mean, I'd be happy to give him some what I was thinking how he plays. But as I said, I just sort of a bit wary of saying too much and him thinking, I don't want too much noise in my head.
Well, it's interesting that you said you'd like to get back into rugby league because, I've often felt that as well. Like, I had daughters and I didn't end up coaching and don't run the line for anyone. So I feel like I am sort of now getting a bit more involved. But, I think you'd be an asset to a club like South to come back, and you've got a lifetime of experience that you could impart on some of these young kids.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I'm just trying to. It's the start of my new journey back into it, and I've come into every game so far, and let's see where it ends up.
Yeah, well, I know JD follows us, so if JD is watching this, we've got a bloke here that might be keen to get back involved. So thanks, Paul Mellor.
Oh, great.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Appreciate that. Good on you.